All right, so welcome members. This session is purely technical discussion, in depth. Yeah, prospects are allowed, but we are going deeper than we normally go. So let's get started by talking about the capabilities of this bot when it comes to monetary possibilities. So here is the autopilot trade setting. Now we are constantly tweaking the settings, but we've already discussed here several times, like I said in the meeting yesterday. An account is making 15% ROI in a week. So let's just imagine that ROI in a month is 20%. Let's not hype it. If it's 20%, which means in 5 months, you would have made your capital back. Okay? In 5 months, you would have made your capital back. That's the least we expect RoyalQ to give to you. The least. In the bull run, I'm sure people are going to make so much money. All right? 100% in the month will even be possible. So looking at autopilot settings, let's just assume that every 5 months you can make 100% of your capital. Is that a good deal? If it's a good deal, type A. If you feel it's poor, type B. If you feel a good deal, if you feel it's a good deal to make 100% of your capital in 5 months, type A. If you feel it's poor, type B. The goal of that is just to help us understand our expectations. All right, there's so much capabilities, but I want us to understand our expectations. This is not Ponzi, and so everything depends on market conditions. So you can see in a week, this account has made today the account made over $500. All right, just in the last 24 hours. This account made over $500. All right, so a lot of people here are saying it's a good deal. I agree, it's a good deal. This is not Ponzi. We're not here to, promise what doesn't exist. So now that means in a year, if you start with $3,000 autopilot, and I will help you understand where I'm going. In a year, your $3,000 should give you extra $3,000 twice. So your $3,000 should give you $9,000 in a year. With autopilot trade settings, hands-free. So let's say the first $3,000 you spend it, and the second $3,000 you keep it safe. You don't spend it, and every year you keep repeating that. So here's where I call out my calculator, and I want us to really reason this together. We start with $3,000, right? Then every year you double your capital. So you actually get more than double of the capital. Okay, we're not saying you're going to get much more than double the capital, but we're just trying to be modest when we say 20%. In a week, an account has done 15%, but still we want to be modest. So we just say in a month, 20%, because market conditions can change. Then we also say every 5 months, you get your capital back, which means in less than a year, in a year, you can get it twice. The first one you get, you spend it. The second one, you keep it as carryover capital to the next year. So here, after the first year, all right, at the end of the first year, you have 3,000 times 2, which is $6,000. It doesn't mean that you only generated $3,000 profit. It means that after cashing out the first money and some extra money that would have come up, you at least kept $3,000 out of your profits and doubled your capital for the second year. So balance brought forward second year. So let's say January 2024, you start with us. And by January 2025, which is the second year, you have a capital of $6,000. So second year, you have a capital of $6,000. And at the end of the second year, you have $6,000 times 2. Remember, this $6,000 is going to become $12,000 within the first 5-6 months. Okay? You take that one, spend it, do whatever you want. Then the second $6,000, you keep it for carry forward, carry it forward. And, so that's it. $6,000 times 2. And that gives you $12,000 in your second year. And I'm doing this because I want people to see something, those who have not joined these sessions before. So at the end of your second year, you have $12,000 and you started with $3,000, all right? Now the third year has begun. At the end of the third year, at the beginning of the third year, you started with $12,000. Now the first 6 months of the third year, you made another $12,000. You spent that. You did use it to do whatever you want. You're free. But at the end of the third year, we just want you to have doubled your capital. So $12,000 times 2, that's $24,000. At the end of the third year, you have $24,000. Now, at the end of the fourth year, you have $24,000 times 2, which is $48,000. Now, at the end of the fifth year, you have $48,000 times 2, which is $96,000 at the end of the fifth year, starting with $3,000. Now, this is really, you are withdrawing. This can be way faster if you don't even cash out. But of course, you have to cash out to spend some of your money. 5 years, you went from $3,000 to $96,000. So in the sixth year, you multiply that by 2, and you now have $192,000. In the seventh year, you multiply that by 2, and you have $384,000. In the eighth year, or is it 7 or 8 year? I've forgotten my count. You multiply that by 2, and you have $768,000, and that will multiply that by 2 again. So within 8 years, 9 years, you would have had $1.5 million. In other words, what I'm telling you is that if you start trading autopilot with $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000, with $3,000, if you start trading autopilot within less up 9 years maximum, you will be on $1 million. If you give birth to your child, usually you don't even know what's happening before you know the child is 10 years of age. So why not sow a seed of $3,000, operation $1 million in 9 years or less? So the person who decides to make 1 year to be 6 months. So remember, in your first 6 months, you double your capital. So some people will now say, no, once I double it from 3,000 to 6,000, I keep going. Yeah. So it's going to take those people. Let's look at the calculation for people that refuse to even withdraw. All right. Let's just look at those people who start with $3,000. In the first 6 months, they double it. All right. The next 6 months, they double it. So at the end of the first year, they have $12,000. Now, second year, the first 6 months. So let's just say the second year times 4, they have $48,000. Times 4 again, the third year, they have $192,000. Times 4 again, the fourth year, they have $768,000. That times 4 again, the fifth year. Boy, this can cause calculator breakage. So you see, within 5 years, you can become a millionaire in dollars. Dollar millionaire trading with this bot called RoyalQ. A lot of people don't know this, but we have proven it. It works. It can take less than that. And that is why I tell people, you actually don't have any business with a Ponzi scheme anymore. These Ponzi schemes cause us so much pain, and people get hurt. So for me, I think this is one good bet. But there's something that I want you to know when you're trading autopilot settings. All right. So this is our strategy, operation $1 million in less than 10 years, 9 years, or 5 years, depending on how you choose to maximize. So a person can decide that his trading capital will remain for testimony while his team building activity is what he'll be spending. And honestly, if you start using your story on WhatsApp to share your results, people are going to be like, wow, within a year, they know when you started, they know how it's going, and they're going to say, come on, tell me, this is still working. That is what we're doing, operation $1 million within a decade. If you make each year to be like 6 months, you keep doubling every 6 months. I'm telling you, in 5 years, you're $1 million. So who wants $1 million in 5 or 6 years? If you want $1 million in 5 or 6 years, just type 1M in the chat box. Surely I want that. So I'm going to type 1M in the chat box. Oh my God. I want 1M. We're not talking about your fiat currency. We're talking about dollars. And this is real. And I tell people, There was a post we shared earlier. If you can make $1, if you can make $1, you can make $1 million. That's just the truth about trading. If you can make $100, you can make $1 million. Just apply the same strategy and keep going again and again. Now, of course, we know that many people cannot afford the $3,000. So we're going to show you how you can build a business. You can easily get $3,000 in a very short time. Within 6 months of building RoyalQ, you can easily raise $3,000 and get started. Now, most of us have already started. A lot of people were just saying, let's kickstart January. All right. Let's kickstart January and let it be that everybody's sharing their testimonials. Now, a couple of things I want us to remember. Yes, so a couple of things I want us to remember when it comes to the autopilot settings. I want you to take a look at this. Of course, this is how the settings looks like. Okay. This page is just a summary of it. All right. So margin call 1 to 100, you just put 0.3%. Okay. 0.3% for each of the drops. Okay. You're not going to allow yourself to what time am I going to use there? So I'm talking about the margin configuration, right? Multiple buying ratio. Your multiple buying ratio here is going to be 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, from margin call 1 to 118 is going to be 1 1 1. The settings are available. I'm going to expand on this. I'm going to add more things to this to get the full settings on this PowerPoint. But what you need to know is from 1 to 100 and from margin call 1 to 200, because there are 200 margin calls, giving a total of 118% call drop, capability. You're going to buy 1 1 1 1. Now the first call, what we call the margin call drop, from the first call to 100 call is 0.3%. From 101 call to 160 call is 0.5%. From 161 to 170, 0.6%. From 171 to 190, 0.7%. From 191 to 192, 2%. So this and on and on and on. But what I want you to do is this. Most times people start with 1.5%, but Binance will take charges for every trade. Binance has charges for every trade. So yes, you're going to be making money, but I want you to make much more. The reason is because Acro does pump. When Acro wants to pump, it pumps. I know 1.5 makes you make a lot of money on paper, but I want your transactions to have more efficiency. That's the word. Not just effectiveness, but efficiency, So I want people to start using 1.7% as take profit, both for margin call 1 to 4 and for all the sub-B mode levels, okay? And it's very important. I'm just going to share you a screen in a moment. So here is what I'm saying. Look at how Acro decided to pump, because of course we use Acro. I mean, if it went from here, if you use 1.5%, you'll be doing a lot of movement. But see, if you just use 1.7%, you take some meaningful capital, then look at here again. If you take 1 point, okay, listen, I'm confusing the distance of, sorry. So let's look from here. Forget about trying to do 4%. If you just take 1.8%, you see that you take 1.8, you take another 1.8, you take another 1.8, you take another 1.8. So Acro really pumps enough for you to, have enough room to take a lot of capital. This one pumped 30%. So I suggest that people use 1.8. In fact, if 1.8 performance is good enough for you, after you monitor it for like 2 weeks, you can decide to put it at 2% for some of them. So remember, for the sub-sales, when you talk about the distributed and take profit allocation, you might decide to switch between 1.82%, 1.82%, 1.8, 1.9, 1.8, 1.9. So I want you to maximize what you take each time. You might not be selling as frequently as you would have sold, but you are going to be making money for each sell. And each transaction you do would give enough money for Binance to take their charges gas fee to be done and all that, and then you still be in profit. Another thing, just to reassure people that this system works, is once in a while you put your accro on one shot. Once in a while you put your accro on one shot. So especially if you're starting, because a lot of people they don't understand it, because you might be in a situation where you bought a lot of accro and the accro is dipping in value, and so you're making money, but because the accro is dipping in value, it looks as if the profit you're making is not in your assets. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You bought 1 million accro, but the market has dipped by 10%. Of course, that accro you bought might have been $3,000, but because it did by 10%, you're having 2,700. So you look at your Binance balance and you're seeing 2,700. Meanwhile, you've made $100, and so you're seeing a value of 2,800. But you had 3,000. You say, but I'm only seeing 2,800 in my total Binance balance. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. A lot of people don't understand this, and that's why we tell them, you bought something here at this value. You bought something worth $3,000 at this value, at this point, right? Then that thing dipped here by 10%. When it dipped, your 3,000 is not 3,000 here. The value of your asset is no longer 3,000 here. Your value of your asset is now 2,700 for what it has bought, not the USDT, the accro it has bought or whatever coin it has bought. So you have 2,700 here as the value of your asset. Meanwhile, your trading is showing you that you've made $200 as profit. So in your brain, you are wired to say, oh, my capital was 3,000 and I've made $200 profit, so I should have 3,200. But because the asset you bought has dipped here by 10%, you are getting 2,900. And so the person will say, oh, it did by 10%, that's 2,700. And at the same time, I've made $200. So 27 plus 200, that's 29. You're looking at your balance and you're seeing 29 as your total asset on Binance. So some people will say, I made $200 and I'm seeing my total balance is 2,900. What is happening? So this thing caused a lot of confusion in the first year of RoyalQ. A lot of people didn't understand this simple thing. This is real business of buying and selling. Okay? So when I say put it on one shot, it means anytime the market pumps, it will release it. The asset that was 10 minus 10%, by the time it comes back here, what you'll now be seeing when it sells off, what you'll be seeing is your initial $3,000 plus the $200 that you made, $3,200 plus any other profits that you made from that last trade. All right. So you need to do this in your initial days of trading so that you can gain confidence. So if you're on cycle and you trade cycle for like a week, just put it on one shot. Let's see what your balance will be when it sells off. So once it sells off, you will now see, oh, my balance has actually increased. But while the asset is dipping, while the asset is having a minus, some people, you might not see your profit in your Binance balance. I don't know if you're getting me. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? Or am I confusing everyone? I know the old members here will understand it, but I want new people who are coming here to understand it, because this is technical stuff. So let me use trading language. You bought 10 bags of beans. A bag of beans is 10,000 naira, okay? And you bought 10 bags of beans. That means you invested 100,000 naira in 10 bags of beans. Something now happened. They imported beans from somewhere. Beans is now so much in the market. The price of beans goes down to 6,000 naira. Okay? So your bag of beans is now 6,000 naira. And you have 10 bags, which is 6,000 times 10. So your worth is now 60,000 naira. Your worth is no longer 100,000 naira. So when you buy assets here and it is dipping, when it's dipping, the value of what you bought here is also dipping. So what makes up your overall balance on Binance? It is the value of your current asset that has been bought along with your USDT balance. Your USDT balance contains your profit. And so your profit is there in your USDT balance, but because your asset you bought has been dipping by a certain percentage, it looks as if, oh, the profit is not there. So this person sells off some beans. All right. He sold off. So when he had when he had 10 bags, before that, he had like maybe 12 bags, right? He had like 12 bags, and he sold 2 of the bags. Okay. A bag is 10,000 naira, right? So he sold 2 of the bags, and he sold it at 3,000 naira profit for each bag. That means 13,000 naira per bag. I hope I'm not confusing you, but follow my thoughts. So he sold those 2, got 6,000 naira, and bought another 2, which made it 10 bags. So his 6,000 naira is his profit. All right. He has 6,000 naira profit. So his balance in the beans business should have been the balance in his beans business should have been 106,000 naira. Do you understand? Because he always has 10 bags and he sells 1, 2, 3. So he sold 2. Before the price crashed, he sold 2. And he sold those 2 at 13,000 naira each. And so he had 6,000 naira profit. But now the price has dropped to 6,000 naira per bag. So when he checks his total worth, what he has as his assets is now 66,000 naira, which is 60,000 naira for the current cost of 10 of his bags at 6,000 per bag based on the drop, all right, plus the 6,000 he made from the previous sales. So he's having 66,000 naira. Now this person is saying, what's wrong with this business? What's wrong? I had 100,000 naira. I made 6,000 naira profits. My watch should be 106,000 naira, but I'm checking it. It's 66,000 naira, and he's complaining. RoyalQ does not work. RoyalQ does not work. He understands it in his beans business. You understand me? He understands it in his beans business, but he doesn't understand it when it comes to cryptocurrency trading. So that's the problem. This is real trading. If you apply, the basic understandable trading capabilities, compared to your normal business. So that's what I want you to understand for those who are trading on autopilot, because the asset will always be buying, it will always be selling, always be buying, always be selling. So when you buy here and it drops to this place, right? Let's calculate the market movement now. It has dropped 31%. So if you bought $2,000 worth, just imagine 31% drop of $2,000. All right. So let's just imagine 31% drop. 31% times 2,000. So you're going to find out that the value of his asset is going to drop by $620. But his RoyalQ will be telling him he has made $500. And then he will not be seeing, his mind is going to be like, I'm not seeing it in my Binance. I'm not seeing it in my Binance. So you need to understand this aspect. And it's very, very important for everyone to understand it, because that can make the difference. In the first year of RoyalQ trading, a lot of people didn't understand this. If you understood what I just said, just type you in the chat box. Let me be sure you understood. If you didn't understand, just type N. All right. If you understood this, just type U in the chat box. And if you didn't understand this, just type N in the chat box. All right. All right, Caseless, you understand this? Okay, good. So I'm going to come to you, Caseless. Can you unmute yourself? Are you somewhere you can talk? And the reason I'm going to repeat it is because I know people who are not used to trading, they take some time to understand this. All right. Old members understand it. Caseless, you're in a noisy place. I'm going to mute you unless you can go to a quiet place. You're in a noisy place. All right. So it's simple. I mean, a lot of people have understood it. Caseless, I want you to do a real life scenario with you. Again, repeat myself, but you are in a noisy place, all right? Please, before you unmute yourself in any session, make sure you're in a quiet place, because this session is being recorded and will be dropped on YouTube without editing. I don't have time to edit. All right, so that's the first concept. I think just watch the replay again. By the time you watch it once or twice, you get the hang of it. Right? So, are you in a quiet place now, Caseless?
Yes.
Okay, Caseless. What business do you do normally?
Sir?
What business are you into, or what work do you do?
I'm a recording artist.
Okay, you're a recording artist. All right. So when you
Yes.
what determines the price of what you record? What determines the price?
The price?
Yeah, of your product.
I don't understand the question.
Okay, so what's your product? When you say you're a recording artist, your product is tracks, right?
Okay, yeah. I write, I sing, I write, I record, I promote an artist.
All right. So you have a deal. All right. You have a deal that's 10 million naira deal. Okay. You have a 10 million
Okay,
naira.
okay,
You guys pay you 5 million naira upfront. Okay. And say, right, for us, if you
okay,
meet all of these conditions, this is how it's gonna be. And as you make some profits, this is what it's gonna be. And there are different parties to that recording label contract. Okay. Now you've
okay.
sold on the 10 million naira deal, and you've sold about 300,000 naira worth of, let's just say you sold 2 million naira extra worth of tracks. Okay. You've produced a particular song and you sold $2 million, 2 million naira worth. I'm just using naira. So by right, your worth should be 10 million naira plus 2 million, right?
Yeah.
That is, they paid it 5 upfront, do this for us. So net worth on the aggregate is 10 million naira plus 2. All right. Now, one of your supporters pulled out and said, no, he saw you somewhere. That place he saw you know that because of that thing you infringed on the contract. He's pulled out. His own contribution towards the goal was $3 million, 3 million naira. He pulled out. So what's your value now? Your value is no longer 10.
Come,
No longer 10. The contract is no longer,
come again from.
so the contract was 10. You've sold music worth 2 million naira. So you should be worth 12 million naira.
Okay.
Now, one of the partners pulled out because of infringement on some things, and you can't sell those tracks anymore. All right. And he pulled out, and he is supposed to give you 3 million naira out of the remaining 5 million naira. So your balance is about 7 million naira plus 2 million naira. Not so. That's 9.
Okay.
Right? That's 9 million naira. But you've made some profits.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be 2 million naira extra. But because of what happened momentarily, you're having a kind of loss, right?
Yeah.
On the aggregate. Try and think on the aggregate. So now, I know this might not be exactly how it works in the music industry, but just try and get the logic of what I'm trying to say. Now, the lawyers are negotiating with those people. They're telling them, no, what they saw was not really you. It was a twin brother, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, they come back to the table because you didn't infringe on anything, and the 3 million naira is back on the table. Your asset has now come back to, total aggregate asset has gone back to what? 12 million naira. Do you understand it?
Yeah.
Do you get it? So when you buy a coin, the value of the coin drops. That is like when part of the dealers have moved out of the agreement, right? Then when the price goes up, it means, oh, those people have come back and they have brought their money back on the table. So the value of your total balance on Binance will go up and down based on price movement. So when you buy here, you put $2,000 and you bought here, and the price drops by 31%. The value of your asset at this place is not $2,000 anymore. It's $2,000 minus 31%. All right? Just as if those people pulled out of the deal. Just as if those people pulled out of the deal. But it doesn't mean that your profit is not existing in your Binance account. So this is a very important concept for people who are doing autopilot trading. And so my own suggestion to people is once in a while, okay, in your first month, when you've traded for a while, like a week or 2 weeks, you've seen the power of the system, put the acro on one shot, right? Let it sell off, You might see some remaining dust in Acro, sell it off manually on Binance. If you first of all sold it, if you are sure it has sold off in RoyalQ first, then go to Binance, gather the dust, sell it off, put it back in your USDT. You will definitely see that your USDT value has increased. So I don't want to spend too much time on this concept, right? But it's something we're going to be discussing from time to time. So let's talk about fundamental analysis, which we always try to talk about here on the team. There are two websites.
Okay.
There are two websites you need to go to for your fundamental analysis. And the first website is CryptoCraft. Right, so CryptoCraft is your technology tool to show you timing. You can create an account on CryptoCraft, right? And you can decide to see all the events. All right, so this one is for just a couple of days. I can decide I want to see till the end of the year. I can say I want to see till the end of the year. Okay, so this is 31. I don't want to see just one day. Let's just say I want to see. There's a way you can set it up to say you want to see for a week. That's in the settings or somewhere. Anyway, don't worry about that. Today is Friday. You can explore that on your own. Today is Friday. Sorry, I moved forward to September. All right, so let's say this is today is 22nd, so I can just select 22nd calendar.
Okay,
all right. Please mute yourself. Kingsley. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to prevent anyone from unmuting themselves. All right. All right, so you can decide here to, just a moment. You can decide here to search for, today is Tuesday, no much news here. All right, so I can decide to go to tomorrow. I can see no much news here, nothing red of consequence, nothing red here of consequence. Okay, all right, so on Friday, there are two events here. US Fed Chair Powell speaks. This guy, when he speaks, sometimes crypto moves in a direction. And this symposium, all right? So you might note the time here because I've set the time to match my local time. So 3 o'clock, all right? And sometime between 4 and 7. If you're trading, you want to be careful because markets can change direction. Sometimes it doesn't even affect the market, but it's just good for you to know CryptoCraft, and when you see the hot timestamps here, you can keep exploring and figuring out what the weeks ahead are going to be like. Okay, if there's any serious news, you can keep checking that. Look at Wednesday on the 30th. Yeah, there's some possibility around 130. So sometimes this thing doesn't affect, but sometimes it does affect. So you can decide when you're trading, just be careful, check the time and the news. If there's any hot news, just check the market if the market is going to change direction. That is the first fundamental analysis tool, just one of them. Now, the second fundamental analysis tool is CryptoPanic.com. You have to be friendly with CryptoPanic.com, even more than the other websites. The reason is if you are looking at CryptoPanic.com, you're going to know if the market is bullish or bearish. And if you notice some negative news about a particular coin, you want to make sure you get out of that coin if you're doing one shot. Unless you're doing cycle trading, you can relax on that coin. All right. So look at this. There's news about Ethereum. Base daily transaction outpace Ethereum. All right. Not so good for news for Ethereum. There's still some news here for ETH and crypto exchange. Bitio adds Tron support for Theta. Okay, this might look like a bullish news. BTC, how to protect your Bitcoin, say no to poverty. Okay, some good news. Is the 25% drop or the blah, 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 blah. So you can check coin by coin. You actually read through here. Macro Guru Rao predicts imminent stock market bottom updates outlook on Bitcoin. Okay, so this news here is trying to paint something bearish. Imminent stock market bottom. If the stock market bottoms, crypto will also go down. You can now read through this and just get an idea of what's about to happen in the market, all right, within the next 1 hour, 2 hours, or even in the whole day, all right? So let's keep scrolling down. We see Matic. Synergyland. So you just read through the news and with your own judgment, click on the news, read what it has to say, do your own analysis. You will know whether the market is about to dip. And if a particular coin is mentioned, where there's Atom, cryptocurrency Cosmos Hub down more than 3% within 24 hours. Okay, so Atom might be going down for a while, and then, but as you keep watching, look at H-bar. Cryptocurrency Hedera decreases more than 3% within 24 hours. H-bar has been so you can use this to get some fundamental analysis of different markets. So what you do here, you watch here from time to time. In the morning when you wake up, you watch here, even while you are trading, all right? While you're checking the charts. Charts are good, but sometimes something that will drop here, if you see it on time, you just quickly sell off your coin or be on one shot and just, you will not be wanting to take big profit margin. If you will not want to do 10% gain, if you just take 1.5 and get out, and you'll be happy because market can change while you are still dilly-dallying. All right, so yeah, we've discussed about this. The second thing is our signal generating Excel sheet. So let me show you this. Most people know our signals already. When we drop signals, we expect you to use this Excel sheet to determine for yourself the setting you will use. So this is what I mean. All right, this is what I mean. So this Excel sheet was dropped in the group earlier today. There is, they call it Magic 1, Magic 2. Well, I rather call it Method 1, Method 2, Method 3. So the question is, how much capital do you have? That determines the method you use. If you have just $200, $120, go for Method 3 or Magic 3. Magic 2 is when you have, okay, if you have $120. So what's the difference between Magic 2 and 3? They are both minimum capital of $120. It doesn't mean you cannot use it for 200. It doesn't mean you cannot use it for 300. Just said minimum. Okay, just said minimum. Now, the difference between Magic 2 and Magic 3 is that Magic 2 can tolerate 15% drop in price. You can see that the percentage drop is 1, 1, 1, 1, and then the last one is 9. So you can tolerate 15% drop in price. While Magic 3 can tolerate 25% drop in price. Okay? 25% and 15%. So if you have some extra money, like $200, I think you can decide to use Magic 2. The reason is market can dip more than 20% and you want to remain in the game. All right? You want to remain in the game. But I don't really encourage people to use $100, $200 to trade. You can use it to experiment. You still make some money, especially if you understand how we take manual trades. But I want you to focus more, get some good capital. We're talking about signal trading. So this is $320 minimum. So if you have $500, you can do this here. All right. So look at this. This one can tolerate 30% drop in price. In other words, if you are trading, because market can go against you anytime, manual traders use this updated Excel sheet and go for 30% drop in price always. So that when the 30% drop in price is like what I showed you here on the chart, right? What I showed you here, from here to here. Yeah. So when it's dropping, it's using your money to buy more. So that, but later it came up, it will sell off, cash out, right? But you also want to be making money in the dip because this is sub-beam mode real-time settlement. We're not going to be talking about those settings so much here because we dropped a video earlier today in the group on what those basic settings are. So please do well to watch it again and again if necessary. So this is the setting. What does this setting mean? Or how do you use it? So you see this remark column is where you can edit. That's the only thing you can edit here. The remark simply refers to your capital. So if you have $500, first buying amount is always $20 with this Excel sheet. But if you have $500, you can just come here and put 480. All right, because your first buying amount is included in the capital. So with $480, when you click on it, it automatically gives you the settings. It will change it. Look at this: 0.5, 1.9, 0.5, 1.9. All right, but let me go change it to 1,000. That means $920. If I change this to $920, sorry, $980. If I click out, you can see it has changed it to 1 3.9, 1 3.9, 1 3.9. Because I have more capital, it's going to be buying more times. All right. So every setting you need is in this Excel sheet. So what you do, there's a way for you to go save the settings in your RoyalQ app. If you go to RoyalQ, we have a video for this also in one of our previous members sessions. You go to mine, you click my strategy settings, you click on the plus sign, you enter all these details and save it. All right, you enter all these details and save it so that when you see the signal is on, let's say 1 inch. You just go to RoyalQ, type 1 inch, open it, and import your settings into that coin. Within 20 seconds, you've entered your trade and fired your signal, and you're done. Okay. So don't worry if you've never done this. We can, your upline is going to assist you to do it for the first time. But because our time is fast running, I just want to cover through these basic materials. As we come in again and again, we might do another live situation where we do the settings manually, but we have a video where we did all that setting manually, for old members who have been coming here. We have such recording. So this Excel sheet is from the RoyalQ Team Motion International. They're just a RoyalQ team who have been diligent and hardworking on this, but while a lot of other people are chasing Ponzi schemes, these guys have been determined in building the business. So you don't need anybody to give you setting for signals. Though. All you have to ask yourself is, how much is my capital? Then remove $20 from that capital. Then type it here. Type the remaining balance here. Once you type it here, the setting you need will populate at the bottom. All right, that's it. Now, the only thing that you will not see here is sub-beam mode real-time settlement. That's what we use. Sub-beam mode real-time settlement. So you go to the strategy mode and change from whole warehouse mode to sub-beam mode real-time settlement. So that your assets will be selling off even when you are in the deep, you'll be making money. You will not even know that you're in the deep. Since you are able to tolerate 30% drop in price, you're going to always be in the game. All right, so that is it. If you've never saved these settings on your phone, remember, you don't have to think too much. Just ask yourself, what is your trading balance? If your trading balance, the minimum here is 320. So if your trading balance is $100 or 150, then you can just go to magic 2 or 3. All right, just go to magic 2 or 3. The minimum here is 120. You can operate with these settings. Just put the figure here. So if you have $200, the first buying amount here is $15. So if you have $200, that would be minus 15 would be 100 and what? 85. So you come here, just type 185. 185. You just type 185, and the settings automatically change according to your financial muscle. All right. So you just open your RoyalQ app, set up everything here. Risk type radical, first buying amount 15, open position double, don't enable that. Margin call limit, you put 7, whole position take profit, you put 3%, whole position take profit callback. You just put all these settings. These are all the settings. If any of these settings confuses you, ask for the video where we explain the settings and what they mean. We really cannot be going through that every single time because we did a thorough job in the past, analyzing each of the settings. And that's all. You just put it in your bot and call the coin any single time that the signal is given. Within few minutes. Somebody said, please drop the private group here. No, I don't drop groups in the meetings. Always go back to whoever invited you, work with them. They will add you to the group, or they'll connect you to how you can get added. I don't drop WhatsApp groups in the meetings because people have different groups they manage and how they manage them. Each person knows how they want to handle their team. So I don't drop WhatsApp groups here in the meetings. All right. So that is just a quick one on how to enter the settings. Now let's go to our trading strategy. I'm rushing through because I don't want to keep everybody up here for too long. We can do this for 2 hours, trust me. But because you're coming in for the first time, We're just trying to make it as simple as possible. Remember, we've shown you how to do some fundamental analysis. Just get used to it. Look at Crypto Panic from time to time so you can know deep insights on what the market is about to do, and check that with market price movement. All right. We've also shown you how to take our signals. When the signals come, you don't need to think too much. First of all, before you start looking for signals, make sure you've saved your settings in your phone, in your RoyalQ app, based on your capital. Your capital is a question you have to ask yourself: how much do I have? That will tell you whether you're doing method 1, 2, or 3. And that's it. Okay. Now we also discussed. Let's go to technical stuff now. Let's go to what I love talking about the most. All right, tell me the coin that you love the most, apart from macro. Somebody should give me a coin. Let's go set up that coin from scratch. All right, let's go set up that coin from scratch. Because now we want to show you how to look at the market and determine market direction. Now, this one is not for those, how do I describe it? So this is what we look at before we give signals. So you don't have to do this thing we're about to do now if you feel you're too busy, okay? But for those who want to learn trading, then we encourage you to pay attention, because automatically you're going to love the knowledge you're going to get. All right, so Mr. Ben, just go back to whoever invited you to this meeting. That link, whoever dropped it there, just ask, I want the group setting. All right, this meeting link must have been dropped somewhere because I shared it in so many groups. Just ask, I am Ben. I want to be in the group. All right. So you're asking for settings. Do you have an active RoyalQ account? That's another thing. All right. So just get back to whoever connected you to this meeting, and they're going to guide you into the group. All right. Okay, good. All right. So then just go back there, ask, and they're going to connect you. All right. So it's possible maybe you've been missing out on a lot of things because we even dropped the Excel sheet today in so many of the groups. So maybe I'll just go drop it in all the groups again that I dropped my invite link. All right. It's an Excel sheet. I can't drop it in this chat box. I don't think. Yeah. All right. So enough of that. That's kind of distracting. So let's get down into the most important thing here. All right. Documents can be shared anytime. I'm looking for the coin what coin do you love? I can't see anybody dropping a coin. I already have done this chart for Acro, so I want somebody to give me a coin that I want you to drop me, just drop me a coin that you want me to do analysis for. ICP, great, thank you. So let me just switch this to ICP. So if you want to do this thing, you need to also have your ICP USDT for Binance. Okay. Yeah, so you need to also have a TradingView account, all right? We really encourage that. Okay, so here we are with ICP. This looks like a crazy coin if you look at the market movement. So when you see this kind of coin, you love it. Let's just say this is a coin you love, you want to trade it. The first thing you do, for me, you need to see market direction. All right. I love using Heiken and Ashi charts, but you can use normal bar charts. Doesn't matter. What's more important is for you to draw the support and resistance. Okay. So how do you draw the support and resistance? To draw support and resistance, I always tell people to go to the 4-hour chart. So you click on 4-hour chart time frame. Adjust your charts to how it will be more visible to you. Look good in your eyes, look more interesting. All right. Okay. Now you're going to switch to line chart. So I'm using a laptop, so I just click here. Line chart is this. I've put a star on it, so it's my favorite. Okay. So you just switch to line chart. Your system is going to display like this. All right. Just line chart. So the next thing is for you to find the average support and resistance lines. So there's this thing here. It's going to appear differently on phones, but it's the same thing. You just click on this and you want to look for horizontal lines. Yeah, so I have it starred already. So it's my favorite. Just click on horizontal line. Now, what I'm seeing here is that here there seems to be a support. Now, before I draw support and resistance, there's an indicator I like to put on my screen. And that indicator is called HTF liquidity. So this is the indicator. Let me type it here so that you can see. So let me try search for it. HTF liquidity levels. All right, so that's an indicator that you want to put on your device. You are limited to like 2 or 3 indicators, so you know how you manage them. HTF liquidity levels by SBTCN, SBTNC. All right, you can mark a star on it, so it's going to be your favorite. So once it appears on your chart, it's going to appear on the right side. So this is liquidity level. Market's all about liquidity. We have videos for this. I'm just going through this again because this is how you can predict market direction. People, I can charge you $1,000 for this, and at the end of the day, you know, you're getting it here basically for free. All right. So this is this. You can see I marked this support line without even this indicator, but you see it's coinciding with the liquidity level. Right. So sometimes I readjust this line to coincide with the liquidity level. So the greens mean there's money here, there's money here, there's money here, there's money here, there's money here. So if market is going up, it will tend to one of these points. But there are also liquidity levels down in red. So this price can touch here. So if I'm going to draw a line here, you might not see it now, but it might coincide with one line far, far, far away. All right. One price movement far away. So I would draw a support line here. Yes, deliberately. Because I see liquidity level here. So I just draw it above the line. Yeah. Okay. Because I now expect this price to come touch this red because there's money here. People's money. That's why it's called liquidity. It needs to come here, touch, so that people will take their money. So it's likely going to touch here for IPC. For ICP. Oh my God, for ICP. Right. So remember, we put this in on line chart for you to easily spot the sharp points. Right. So we can see there's here. You can see. Look at the liquidity level here. It's coinciding. So I can click on my horizontal line here, and I just just put it right here. That's a support line. And you see it coincided with here. It coincided with here. Look at the price came here, bounced off it, and went down. So if you have properly drawn this, the moment price is going up, you will, once it gets here, you take your profit and get out. Okay? Look at it. Let me look at the price movement. If you entered here, once you take 2% here, 3%, you get out of the trade. You will not want to take, you don't want to say let it go to 10% or target this high here. No, because you would have seen that there's this price movement here and there's this liquidity mark here, which means this can go here, touch, take the money here, and start facing to the next red one. Sometimes it can go straight up if it's pumping. So this is market, all right? Market dynamics, it fluctuates. It's all about probability, all right? If what I'm saying confuses you a lot, don't worry. Just watch the replay, watch it again and again, keep coming on Tuesday. So this is, like I said, technical sessions, and you're getting it for free, all right? So, but that's not all. You can look at, there's a lot of movement between here and here. So if I click on this and check the market movement, this is a 20%, all right? So there's a lot of movement here. Let's see, where else can we put support and resistance here? It seems to like be this tested 3 times. I'm definitely going to put one mark here. All right, because it tested here, tested here, tested here, tested here again. Oh my God, this is a very important zone. Even though I don't see a liquidity event here. All right, where else can we put? Yeah, looks like there's something here. I can just put something here. All right, so it's you just doing your decisions based on what you're seeing in the market, based on price movement, which coincides with this anyway. So you just kind of keep it somewhere here. All right, so this is why I told people, come to this meeting. You don't have to do RoyalQ. Just come and learn how to predict market direction, because you will not need to pay anybody to give you signals. You will generate your own signals yourself. So you see, we have marked support and resistance from here to here. So I can even say, okay, market is low here. Let me forget about the top. But it's also good to, if you love the coin, if you know you're going to be trading it for, as the price moves to the right, you might not have visibility on all this again. So I always tell people, try and, just still mark the support and resistance as closely as you can. All right, so I can see some movement here. I can just take it here because it marks the liquidity event here. I can also decide to, this is a peak here. I can decide to take one here. All right. Of course, there's a lot of movement in between here. Here is tested here again. I can decide to put a mark there too if I wish, but just try and avoid too many marks anyway, especially when the percentage difference between the 2 points is not that significant. Okay. All right, this is 3-4%, so it's worth putting a line there. All right, because you can actually be taking 2-3% and getting out of the market in and out. So look at the top here. Whoa, I definitely will put a mark here so that when price is bouncing back, I will know that, come on, there were some sharp points here. Be careful. Don't joke with them. I would say don't joke with them. I hope you're seeing how I'm just putting this thing based on my own judgment of the sharp points. You see, as the price now starts coming up, let's go to the right. As the price starts coming up from here, you will see it obey all the support and resistance again. That is support and resistance for you. This is one way of drawing it. There are other ways of drawing it. As you come to each of the webinars, you're going to see various ways and you're going to draw it. So remember, trading is all about probability. So you need to draw a support and resistance. Support and resistance are probable points of price reversal. So if the price is here, if it keeps going up, it could touch here and face down again. And if it breaks up here, it could go up, test this place, test it twice. In fact, if it tests it once, the second time it's testing it, it's likely going to bounce back if it bounced back the first time. So here's what I'm telling you. Price went up here, came back, tested here. Do you see? The price went up here, it came back, tested here. Then it went up again, came back. As it's coming back here, as a trader, I am looking at it that it tested here once. It's likely going to test and bounce back up. It's probability, there's no certainty, right? So immediately it's coming here. My mind is telling me it's likely going to bounce. And I'm ready, I'm looking at the candles. All right. And once it has given me a sign that it's about to go in that direction, what do? I just quickly come here, take 3 or 5%. Just walk away. And you look like a guru. I just took 5%. How do you know percentage you take? You don't have to be greedy. But you saw the market movement and you've seen the support and resistance. And see, it tested it again here. It tested it again here. All right. Of course, the more it tests it, the more stronger it is. But at one point, it's going to collapse. So look at this now. The price has come down. It tested this and went back. This price will likely come back here, test this, and bounce again before it will finally start going upwards. So these are some of the things that make people to be like, oh, they are very good traders and all that. But remember, everything is probability. Nothing is cast in stone. Market can go any direction market wants to go. We're just trying to say probability of this happening. All right. So look at this. Of course, market came here, tested here, went up, came down, went up again. So tested it, went up again. So it does those things a lot of times. That's why you need support and resistance lines. Don't worry if all of this looking confusing. Keep coming and you get the picture. This now is for people who want to trade by themselves, okay? We're giving you skills. So ICP, you've drawn the support and resistance lines, but you need to know direction of market movement. That's the next thing you need to know, right? So we have some tools to help you know market direction. So this is why, we say, let's give you one indicator to use, and that is market bias. The market bias indicator shows you the color, which tells you the direction of the market. All right. This is a powerful tool. Let me open the setting up. If I click on market bias, this is the setting of market bias. All right. Period 60, smoothing 10, oscillator period 7, style, just all of this, visibility, just what it is. Nothing much, just 60, 10, 7. and then you save as default and click OK. That's it. All right. Now, you see, market bias has changed to red. When it's showing red, it means there's high probability price is going down. So that's not the time for you to actually be jumping to the market. You need to be careful, right? You need to be careful. If you enter buy, you have to time it carefully. If you are buying when the market is, if it's red, remember it will always be red until it's ready to reverse. Okay, so we're just saying be extra careful when it's reddish, because when it's reddish, it means it is more likely to go down than to go up. And you can see from here it turned reddish and it went down all the way. Now it turned bluish here and it turned greenish, which means market might go up. And so if you, now before this analysis, turn your chart back to candlestick or not line, get it offline, okay? So you can see what the candlesticks have in store for you, all right? So you can see the candlesticks, makes more sense now to you, right? So it's reddish. Hey, I'll show you a trick. A very simple trick, oh, very simple trick. And I'm going to apply it to acro later also. Right, so you see, right now it's green. Now a person can come, oh, it's turned green, oh, thank God, hallelujah, let's enter the trade. Remember, it's just probability. When you want to enter the trade, be careful. Set according to the next support level. So the next support was 4%. Set it, don't be greedy. Yeah, it might go to the next one, which is 7%. But anything can happen. So just don't be greedy. Just take 3-4%. This is how we take the signal and tell you take 3%, take 4%, take 2%. We look at the support and resistance and determine that. So this training we're giving to you now, trust me, you could pay for it. But because you are RoyalQ members in the energy team, we're showing you tools that you can use. Look at the chart and make money by yourself automatically. All right. So this is that. You don't want to be greedy. Please, market will always be there. All right. Market will always be there. If you decide to enter a trade when the market is reddish, just take 1.5% and get out. I beg you. And I'm going to show you some examples. All right. So here again, market turned reddish. But you can see the market has turned reddish, but it has just been dancing in between these two channels here. These two. So if I look at this, price went from here to here, came down, went up here, came down, went up here. I now know that it's trading within a band. All right. Now it will keep going within this band until it will break out in whatever direction it will break out. So you can also decide to take these two positions as your entry levels, because look at it, turned red, turned green, turned red, turned green. So that's a choppy market. It's a market called sideways market. So there's no clear trend, right? There's no clear trend, and there's a limit to how many indicators you can put on your chart. So you want to have this to help you draw your support and resistance lines and your take profit for visibility. And when the market is going sideways like this, you can decide, okay, this thing is rotating within a band. Let me go get a parallel channel. So how do you get a parallel channel? Just go to your chart here, this lines section. If you're using a laptop, on the phone is the same thing. Click on parallel channel. I'm just going to start from here. I'm just going to draw it. You just need the two, right? This two, right? Or let's just say till here. You can keep adjusting it too. When the price was here, when it touched here again, just say, okay, let's see. This is support line. Let's take it to the support line, yeah? And then you can just draw it a little farther, all right? So, but this is where the price is at this moment. You don't see the future. So we're just going to put it right here. Then you just take it up, put it on the 2 maximum on top, all right? So the price is likely going to be moving in between this and this. But you notice that there's a middle line here. Yeah, sometimes it can touch that line and reverse, like it did here. Touched it, reversed, touched it, went up, all that. Now I can decide to extrapolate this a little farther. Okay. Now, here's a trick. It has been trading in this band. And then suddenly it broke out here. Then came back in. I can adjust this down. Okay. But you can see it's broke out again. This support line, okay, it's testing it. So I'm going to be careful, because once it breaks below this, it's going to be like more, this thing can just head down south. So you can drag your parallel channel, adjust it as you wish as you keep going, you know. Once it has broken below the support line, just get out of the trade. If you're using one shot, just close it. If it's any small loss, take it. You know, because it has gone below the support line, which means if you don't have capital, you just will be floating like 16, 17, 20% floating loss. Then you'll be on your knees praying for the market to come back up. All right. If you don't have capital, you won't want that. So these are some of the tricks that this is for people who want to trade, who want to be who want to master trading by themselves, right? And I tell you, if you can learn these few things, you'll be able to predict market direction. So when the chart comes down here, all right. So this, let's just imagine that this side is not yet available. We don't know what the market wants to do. I just need to touch it down on, I will start from here, okay? I just need to touch it down on two low positions, okay? In my mind, I know that as it has gone up here, it's time for it to go down. It can fire and go above, but you know, we're just saying it's time for it to go down. Now, when it's going down, the moment it reaches here, can just enter my buy signal if I wish to. Because I'm seeing that this market is a choppy market, just going within a range. Before it was falling and crashing. Now it's just dancing between a range. All right. Now, I can see is, you know, you just combine this with your support and resistance, and you'll be able to predict market direction. And as the market moves and changes its structure, you can always move and change this along with it. All right. But please be careful. Once the price has broken the support line down, you know, it's a sign that, come on, it's the next red zone is here. It's going to come for this. All right. And that's why we tell you trade with 30% drop in price so that maybe this will happen when you're sleeping. You don't have to worry yourself. Okay. So that's parallel channel there for you. So at this point, you can't, it looks as if you're not sure what the market is doing, but you can see market has gone bearish again. It's now reddish for a long time and it's dropping. All right. So let's go back a little bit and see when it was bullish. Oh my God. So here, I love this part here. So you've been in the zigzag zone again here. It showed bullish here, right? It showed bullish here. Green. Ooh, green means it's time to make money. So you come in here. It's green. You come in here and target the next 10%. All right. You don't have to go for 14%. Don't try to say you want to do 21%. Don't be greedy. Know thyself. Know thyself. Be calming down and take, even if it's 5% you take here, it's okay. Markets will come out again. All right. So you can see it was greenish and you got some good money. All right. Now, here's a trick. Here's a trick I want to show you. All right. It doesn't obey it always, but it obeys it a lot of the time. Oh, this is 4 hour chart. Please, let me say this. I don't take my trading decision on 4 hour charts, please, please. If you take your trading decision on 4 hour charts, it's going to be long-term trades. Most people can't tolerate that. So please, apologies. I switched to 1 hour charts before looking for signals. Okay. Please, I take my signals on 1 hour charts. Some people do 30-minute charts because they want it faster, but 1 hour charts are pretty much good. So I draw support and resistance lines on the 4 hour charts. All right. But I take my trades on the 1 hour charts. Yeah. I can look at the 4 hour chart just to see, oh, is the market moving and my direction is the future. 4 hours daily chart is about future, but trade decision, 1 hour charts. All right. So, but the principles we have been discussing is the same principles. Okay. All right. It's the same principles. So here, market bias goes green. So let's just say we just, you know, it has pumped. We just wait for, we saw a support line here. We just wait for it to bounce back off. Now it's coming here. Do you know, can just enter this trade here? You know, just forget about too much analysis. Just enter the trade here and just target the next stop. 3%, 4%. Take it and get out. It will give it to you. Highest thing is the market will drop to this point, or the, you know, you always tolerate 30% drop. You're always in the business, and then it will jump up here. All right. This is for people who want to put a lot of their money in the trade, but please always be ready for 20% drop in price. Now look at this. The market went above the support line and it's still green. So what do? So no need to have too much analysis. So here's a trick I wanted to tell you. Whenever it touches the line, there's a probability to just bounce off the line. This market bias line, it operates as if it's another support and resistance line. Remember, support and resistance, it touch, it will go up. Market bias, it touch, it bounced up. This thing is green and price is coming. The moment the price is coming close here, I can predict that it will bounce up. But it's, it's a trading risk. So you can just come here, just take your 2%, get out. And it obeyed it. Sometimes it might not obey it, but that's why you have 20% drop in price, 30% drop in price, all right? Now, it touched, went up. It came again. I could predict to go up again. But see, it touched and came down, but it still went up. Now, look at how many times it touched it. 1, bounced up. 2, bounced. 3, bounced. You see, it looks as if when it touches it, it's meant to bounce. All right? It will bounce in the direction of the color of the market bias. Now, here it is again. It went up, came close. Sometimes it won't touch it. Came close, bounced. It touched it again, bounced. It touched it again, bounced. So in an uptrend, if it just touches this thing and this thing is doing, just know it's likely to bounce. But then you need another MACD indicator to help you. This is a free version of this. I don't know whether MACD can come in here now. It's going to ask me to pay. So if I want to use this MACD, I need to pay for this thing. Yeah, I think it expired on me. I have to get a card to pay. All right. I'm just going to do one virtual card transaction. All right. So let me see what I'm going to remove. But you get the point. If you put MACD, MACD will tell you, okay, where is it pointing to? Or stochastic RSI. We're going to talk about that in future trainings. This is already 10:23. We're going to end this by 10:30 so that everybody can go get some night rest. But this is what it takes to trade and generate your own signals. All right. Bounce a little bit again, but remember it has changed to red. Just be cautious. Now, when it's in the selling, when it's reddish, it can bounce on it and still go down. So if it's reddish, it can bounce on it and go down, hit the next support line. So you should see this market bias as also a support and resistance of sorts. Okay. So there are other indicators we're going to add, like the Lorentzian classification, but I don't want to confuse you today. Let's keep it simple. We used liquidity along with support and resistance lines to help you demarcate your chart to price zones. All right. Then we use market bias to give you a clear idea where is the market facing. Market bias can be choppy in sideways markets. When the market is sideways, just look at the range within which it's trading. It's going to trade within that range for some time, and at one point, it's going to decide its direction. All right, so you also be cautious about that. And it's likely going to do whatever it has been doing. So if it has been doing down, 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 after this small zone, it could just continue down, down, down. So just beware of that. All right, so once, I hope you're getting some value. If you're confused about this, don't worry. The more you come, the more you get into it. Let's go to our darling Acro. Acro USDT. This coin is the coin I love for autopilot. Whoosh, why is it like this? Okay, the app just wants me to reset the chart here. All right, so this is Acro. Look at the same thing I was just telling you. Market bias operates as if it's a support and resistance zone. Yesterday, I gave a signal here. You know, I gave that signal. I just looked at it that asset is green, price is coming, it's touching here. I just said, come on, go and take 2%. Go and take 3%. I didn't even know the market was going to do shige movement. I had no idea the market was going to do something crazy, crazier than crazy, yeah? And the market did that. Autopilot people made a lot of money. All right, so this is why I love Acro for autopilot. It jumps, It goes down, it jumps up, it goes down, jumps up, goes down, jumps up. But remember, it can also dip. It's a volatile coin. It can dip 50%. But when it does that, you are prepared for 118% dip, which has not happened since 2021, all-time high till now. Accra has not dipped up to 118%. So I believe that now we are even at the bottom. So we're far from having 100% drop in price. Okay, but this is the blockchain, internet of money, anything can happen. All right. So right now, what I'm going to tell you is this. Let me delete some of these things. Some people say, hey, tell us, so when is the next signal for Acro? And I just want to tell you this. If this thing touches this line, if it comes close, there's a probability to go up. Just make sure you check stochastic RSI or MACD to make sure price is going in your chosen direction. I'm sorry, I'll pay for this before the next meeting so I can add those indicators. Or let me just delete some of these things. I'm going to delete some of these things from me. Let me delete. Let me try and add the MACD thing so that it would. Let's see if MACD will load. Okay, excellent. All right, so this is MACD. I use it in line with this. All right, so the price touches here. I expect it to bounce, but MACD is telling me something. MACD is telling me that the sell pressure is reducing. That's why the bars are reducing. All right. All right. So the moment right here, as it's reducing, I can just take my trade without thinking too much. Just enter the trade. Target the next support and resistance line. Okay. Always. And it turned green here, which means definitely if I was afraid to enter, come on, enter this trade here. Are you getting me? Enter this trade here. Do you get it? Enter this trade here because MACD has turned green here. In case you're not clear, it has turned green here. So here, I'll enter the trade. It's just that, yeah, let's close the support line, but here it doesn't matter. MACD is pointing there, and we're all green here. If we're red here, we'll be extra careful. So just enter your trade here, target the next support to 9-10%. Don't go too close to the, just, 9 is okay. Even 8 is okay, just. And it gave you that in a short time. All right? That's it. This is how to trade. Some people say, oh, tell us when to enter Acro. I might be in a meeting, I won't even tell you when to enter Acro. But if you notice, as this price is coming down, this is 1 hour chart. As this price comes close here again, I'm going to tell you Acro will likely bump. But it could actually change color and start coming down because there's a lot of money here, red. There's a lot of money here, red, 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 red. So it could say, okay, I have 2 choices. I have money up here. And after up here, where's the next money? Next money for up is foul. The next money up is far. So it could say, let me quickly come chop here again and then come down here. Or let me come down here, collect some of these greens, let people, because it's all about liquidity. There's money tied down at this red point. So this Acro can come down here. Don't worry yourself. Just stay, relax, let people make their money too, then to push you up, and you also make your own money. So check this. Let's predict this. I expect this line to touch close to this line. And, I want everybody in this meeting to check Acro price movement on their trading view. I expect it to come close. Once it comes close, right here, I expect it to do. I'm not going to try to go to this liquidity zone of 40%. I'll just try and take it to the last price here, the last height. All right. Don't be greedy when you trade, Just do 5%, even if it's 4%. Get out. Just expect that if this bounces here, it will give you a 4% before it starts going down to this. So remember what I told you. Price tested this once. Second time it tested it, it bounced off, right? Just look at it though. If you were looking at this, the moment it tested once, bounced off. The second time it touched it, you can just even enter the trade. Just make sure you don't try to take it higher than the last time. Just come within the range of the last time. Just come down. Don't be too greedy. Take 4%. And you see, it gave you 4% the moment you touch this line, went back up. Now you touch it again. It's possible it will just repeat the same thing, go back up, all right? But you know, you want to be careful that you're trading in line of of this, okay? This is also you need to watch this. Right now, the red bars are reducing, they're reducing, so that's great. But I tell you, the moment this touches market bias, unless the market wants to turn straight to downtrend, I'm betting you that you could take another 4%. It's going to happen between now and tomorrow morning. Acro will give you another 4%. Quick money. And if it goes against you and goes down here, don't worry, you have enough room to tolerate the dip. All right. So please, this is how you take those trading decisions. It's so easy to trade with RoyalQ because the market has already positioned you. If it goes against you, margin calls, you'll be making money in the dip. Next time when we meet, we'll talk about trend lines. We've done parallel channels, we've done support and resistance. We'll show you a simplified part of our strategy. You know, the RoyalQ Motion International also has this stochastic RSI that you can combine with this. You can combine the stochastic RSI with this. We can talk about that some other time. But before we call it today, for autopilot traders, you will notice that your money is always idle sometimes. So what do? You see this moment where it touches market bias. You know, for every $5, $1,000, right? So if you're trading with $3,000, that means first buying amount is $15. So once you see that it's touching this market bias, you can just quickly make it $20. Increase it from 15 to 20. You see that if it buys it deep, it's going to buy it. And when it's going up, it's going to pump some good money for you. So when you see it's coming here, just increase your to 15 to 20 by add another $5. It will pump, give you some extra money. All right. So when it has hit the support line, you can change it back to 15 because it will start buying the dip. You know, always decide based on your your market bias, Lorentzian indicator, which we didn't talk about today, MACD, all right, and increase your first buying amount. That way, a lot of your money will not be idle for too long, because once the direction of the market is up, you know, then you're in the game. And at the same time, always check your fundamental analysis websites as we discussed, so that you always stay in the game. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. It was a long session, but this is what it takes to be a trader. Does anybody have one or two things to say? Did you get value? You can use this trading and do anything you want. If you like, go and use it in Forex. Don't go to Forex. If you go to Forex, some people say, let me do Forex. Yeah, you can do Forex. But Forex is not just about this technical analysis. Your emotions will deal with you. So please, don't go into the leverage market until you've mastered yourself. Know thyself. We're going to go into those markets as a group here. We're going to trade ourselves, you know, in those markets. But my job is not to get you into Forex. My job is to get you into spot. Understand your emotions. Even this spot market that is not leveraged, people panic. You panic in spot markets, you want to enter Forex, you have high blood pressure, or you want to trade futures, you will just not be able to sleep in the night because you're trading, you know. So please stay with sports trading where you can have a loss. Even if your coin dips, you're still in the game. All right. So please, people, if you have low capital, all right, they look this acro well because you can see the historical data I'm telling you. So far the line is green. It touched it, bounced it, touched it, bounced up, touched it, bounced up. Once it has done 3 times, I like to avoid another bounce, because here it touched it once, bounced up twice. Me, I don't like to do again. I wait for it to retrace. Now, it actually did retrace here, touched it again. Yeah, the retrace is significant. So you can try, you can take it again, bounce up. You can see it kept bouncing up because the market was actually generally bullish. When do you enter? Is showing green on the 1 hour chart, just expect it to bounce up the market bias. But of course, remember, there'll be a time when you need to cross over that market bias and begin to dip. All right. Always and be ready to get out if your capital is slow or small. It's better to get out with a $3, $5 loss and go and make $60 somewhere than to keep looking at your low capital. Can be paralyzing. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm excited about this. Do we have one or two people who want to make any comments? Is it questions or comments? You can unmute yourself. You have to be in a quiet place. Did you get any value from the session? Because I want everybody to, man, people, this actually will give you a lot of money. Do we have any comments from anybody? You can unmute yourself.
No, they did have value, but let's call it a day for another day.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so my energy is too much, eh?
Yeah,
Anyway, I have an observation. Good evening, all.
Okay, good evening, Chief. Well done.
Okay, so yeah, that is a good one, but I think the informations are okay, but with the little experience I have on forex trading, PPI and PPA, pure price action, without an indicator, I think the support and resistance you're talking about is also a major confluence in taking those trades you mentioned, like this accordion is really an important confluence to take a trade, just like you just mentioned. So with those support and resistance, I believe is very important way to take a trade. But when it comes to those indicators like the MACD you mentioned earlier and this one on the chart, I think there's moving average there. Is there moving average there?
No, I didn't add moving average.
Which one is the green one on that is following the chart?
Okay, market bias.
Okay. I think this market bias it lacks, because if you check when the market touches those supports and those resistance zones, it will touch them and do what it wants to do before the market bias indicator will not tell you where the market is going. So for you to get a good entry that will not, even though you have little account, for it not to affect the account, so you have like a sniper entry, even if you don't get a sniper entry, but let your entry be at a good point where you will not have a drawdown before the market starts going where it's going. If you use the support and resistance, it will help you more than the market bias. The market bias is also a good indicator, but I think it lacks. Support and resistance will give you more entry than the market bias. So that is my observation. But aside that, the class is so much interesting. I learned a lot from this. So thank you very much.
All right, so thank you very much, Sonny. So here's the thing. When it comes to RoyalQ trading, which is what we're doing here, we don't really care too much about entry. We are not sniper bothered. That's why we are even expecting it to give us 30% drop. We expect it to go against us by 30%. That's why we say we're using the bot. So we just want a good entry, a fair entry, because most of the people here are not too expert traders. They don't even need to bother themselves too much. The bot will do the work. So if you trade with RoyalQ, for example, your entry here doesn't even matter. If it goes against you, you're actually going to be excited because a lot of your money will now be used in the trade. All right. But for those who have low capital and want to time that entry, yes, support and resistance does give a great job. Now, when it comes to market bias, just remember, just look at the color. What's the current color? Just take your decision based on the current
Green.
color. Don't overanalyze it. Don't overanalyze. And there are other indicators, but we like to keep it simple because people can get confused. Support and resistance is just perfect. Yeah. Market bias is just to help you know that, oh, it's green, so I can be taking more profits on the long. Like, you see, once it's red, now let me show you what I mean. You see, this market bias is red now. Even though it has touched this support line, I will not even bother to enter sometimes. And if I enter, I will take 1.5%. Honestly, and I will not take anything more than that. And look at it. Let's just say I enter here. I will just take 1.5%. It gives 2%, yeah. And I just get out of it. But I don't want to. It's just telling you that the market is more tending towards the downward side. So if you come in here and you say you want to do long support, you want to do support, you will just stay in the market for long sometimes. And markets can just start facing down while you are sleeping. And in this business, we sleep when we trade. We don't even stay awake when we trade. We just put our indicator and go to sleep because the bot takes care of when price goes against us. Now, here it has turned green. Okay, it is turned green here. If I decide, right, the market bias works perfectly. So it turned green here. I could decide to enter here. Yeah, candle closed. But let me go to normal candle. Some people say that they want to close, but we're going to close very soon. Let's go to normal candlestick. Where's the candle? Too many things on my screen. Sorry. This is the last one. Yeah. All right. So normal candlesticks. Yeah. Where was I? All right. So here. So this close. Yes, it's now green. I can decide. Oh, it entered here. I'll enter here. It's green here. I'll enter here. Even if it goes here, I can enter here. I say no, whatever. 5%, don't be greedy. Or if you decide to take the 9%, that means price will go against you first before it goes up. All right, so that's it.
Okay.
3, 4, 5%.
So since
you get my point, right?
I want to ask a question. Does the bot run on locks?
But before you ask, that helps you see direction, but it doesn't necessarily tell you exactly when to enter or exit.
Okay.
Hint on that. And at the same time, this is actually a members meeting. Doesn't sell on loss. It can never sell on loss, and it uses dollar cost averaging. So whoever watch it, this bot is spot trading. It's not forex. It's not futures. It's spot. So it's just like holding. Do you understand? It keeps buying it when it gets cheaper. So even if the price is going against you 30%, it's happy. It will never sell at a loss because price will still come in your direction and to sell off everything. That's how the bot works. And I've tried different things. I've traded forex. When I traded forex, like I tell people, I've converted $700 to $3,000 in 1 month to 3,500. That mobile, you not sleep. I trade all the markets. I was trading like a madman. All right, but tension everywhere. So, but this bot makes you trade with rest of mind. All right, so that's what we encourage. All right, so please keep coming to the next presentations. You say you want to ask a question. Was that the question about loss?
Yes. I already asked if the bot running at losses.
Honestly, it's a beautiful thing. I've done different things. This, with a little bit of knowledge of forex trading and your sniper entry, you can go look at the shapes, bat, and all those things. If you add all those things to what you do, the sky is the limit. So thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, sorry, before you go, 1 second. Like,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Okay, like you said, the ball doesn't run on losses. It's happy when the market is dipping, right? Okay. Now, what if, for instance, you have an account of $20 and the market keeps dipping and you have already set a $15 win rate and it keeps dipping, would it blow the account or won't it stop you out from the market or your bots?
Okay, so let me ask you this question. If you buy Bitcoin worth $20 and Bitcoin price goes to $2,000, will you throw you out of the account? Will you throw you out of Binance?
It depends on the percentage. You mean on sports?
We're talking spot here.
Huh?
We're talking spot here. Everything we're doing here is spot.
It depends on when I buy and how long it. If I buy,
maybe you didn't hear me. If you buy $20 worth of Ethereum,
Bitcoin, Okay,
or
tell us.
any point. If the market is dropping, it's not going to throw you out of the market. You will still have your $20. When I say
Yes.
$20, you still have your the number of assets you bought, you still have it, but the value will drop.
Yeah,
You
the
understand what I'm
value.
saying? But the assets back up, it will take profits. It will never sell at a loss unless you are the one that goes to sell at a loss. You understand? So it doesn't matter how even in the lunar loan C scenario, the value of your asset will just drop to the barest minimum. That's all that's going to happen, but you will still hold the same number of assets. So if you bought 1 million assets, you still have 1 million assets. It's just that the value of the 1 million assets might drop. I hope you get the picture now. So that's what RoyalQ is doing. It's doing buying, holding in the spot and takes profit. And honestly, I am content with the spot 1-to-1 ratio because we're making money, less tension. Because that futures end that blew people accounts, the emotions. Many people here don't have that capacity. So that's why we say trade spot, trade spot, trade spot. When you have mastered trading spot and you feel you want to, what I tell people is, if you trade spot for 6 months, 1 year, and you feel you want to try futures, let's say spot is where you can put your 50 million naira, right? You can put your 50 million naira in spot. Let's say you have $100,000. Put it in spot, but you can't put it in futures. Your retirement money, you can put it in spot. Then you cannot take $500 and go and play in futures. You understand? If the $500, $1,000 blow, your life is not wrecked. You sit down, redesign your templates, try again with another 500. Yeah, so that's what you can do. But to go take your retirement money, bulk of your capital, to go play in the futures market or forex market for starting the learning phase, please, I discourage it. I totally discourage it unless the person has the capability to recover from those losses. All right. So thank you very much for your questions. I appreciate your insights. Thank you very much, everyone who came in here. Sonny Caros, AK Samuel, Mr. Juku Ojide, Jerome Chibo, Justina Mannix, Saga, Madam Saga Nami. Wow, you're still here. CFX Lord. Thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Monday, we have our prospects meeting again. Monday's prospects meeting. Remember, you don't have to look at all these charts when you want to trade. Just take the signals when we drop them. This analysis on the charts is for those that want to generate their signals on their own. Thank you very much, and good night.
All right, thank you. Good night.